Oops. Hey guys, how are you? Let me turn this light away. Holy guacamole. Let me see how to do this from my desk without it being so chaotic. I was trying to figure out light-wise what is best, but it looks like that's not the best option. So let me turn this light off and let me turn another one on while you guys are gradually popping on. It'll be better. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Okay. I am back. Yep, I'm back. So, here we are, guys. It's day 10. Day 10 of this Inspirator Facebook challenge. Now, what does that mean for you? It means there has been tons of so many different things going on with, hey, Arabette, how are you doing, love? With the challenge. Hey, Andrea, how are you doing? So you guys, do me a favor and, oopsie, while you are popping on, give me a thumbs up or heart so I know that you're on here. That makes a big difference for me because I just see names popping through, but I don't know if you're actually staying on, okay? And of course, it has a swipe left. If I start doing that, it gives me a little bit of confusion. So just do a little thumbs up or heart, lets me know that you're on here. So I'm popping on. It is thanks guys. It is day 10 of this Inspirator Facebook challenge. And Erin Kreitz Shirey, personal trainer and empowerment coach. Right now, I am actually, it's our first few days with Jack being gone. He travels quite a bit. Actually, prior to us moving, he was gone pretty much every week for anywhere from 2 to 3 days. And now that's a big part of our fall. So it started, he left last night, and interestingly enough, I am to be running hood to coast, but I had to pull out last minute because of the fact that he's gone right now. And we couldn't, with the kids just starting school, I couldn't fathom one of us parents not being here for them in a brand new city, state school, right? So I'm here, missing hood to coast, but I'm here for you. And that part is great. I'm here for, of course, my kids. I've been here with my kids, but I'm here for you right now. So from my Hood to Coast runners, have a fun time, guys. Run, Mama, run. Have the most amazing time. Fast feet, super fun, lots of laughter. Enjoy every second of it. Just run a few legs for me. Have so much fun. Okay, now let me retract. So here we are, it's day 10. And something has come up quite a few times that from clients, as well as a question that was asked by, hey, Melissa, how are you doing? By a friend last week, which was, why push limits when I'm so tired? Why is it important for me to push limits? I'm super tired. I've got 4 kids. I'm running my business. Why should I push my limits physically? Why is that so important when it comes to my fitness? And how does that translate to the rest of my life? So here's the thing. I separated out this question into 3 different sections, all of which are very important and integral when it comes to pushing your own limits. When it comes to your fitness, you guys, motherhood is tiring, right? Working is tiring. Being a working mama is tiring. But if you're not pushing your limits, you're never going to grow. You have to get comfortably uncomfortable in order to grow big and strong in all those facets of your life, right? Now, let's say you have no kids. That's, you have to get comfortably uncomfortable in your work and in your fitness. And it's hard and it's tiring. You're a dog mom, you're a cat mom, whatever. It's hard and it's tiring. But it's important for you to get comfortably uncomfortable and know that you're capable of doing so. That is why pushing limits is so important, is that you grow. Anytime you push limits, you are growing to a level that is unprecedented from your current life, right? So I'll take myself, for example, this move. And I've been honest about it to where it was Jack's big wish for this move. Hey, Nicole, how are you? I miss you, my friend. At least we're back in Pacific Northwest again. Pacific Northwest being in Boise. But Boise, pardon me, I say it wrong. I've been told quite a few times. But with this move, it was one that was spearheaded by Jack, which is great. He really, hey Mike, how are you doing? It's late for you back in the East Coast. But it was spearheaded by Jack. It was it's come to be a great move for us. The last 3 weeks have been amazing. quite honestly, and that people slow down. And the elements that we want with our kids, raising our kids in a city that is smaller and has got the seasons. He really wanted the seasons. I myself am a beach person, so Boise's not quite the beach. However, it gives us the opportunity to potentially buy a place, to buy a place in Hawaii in the next few years. And that for me is one of my dream goals. And his dream goal is to raise kids in 4 seasons. So compromise, we're in Boise. What does that mean? We've had to get comfortably uncomfortable and be here together and grow, and honestly be in a city to where we knew nobody. When we moved to Portland, my best friend from high school was in Portland. We flipped a coin and ended up in Portland. So it didn't seem so daunting. We had one tiny little baby who couldn't talk back. With this move, huge pushing limits. Limits pushed in so many different ways, right? And especially with our kids, they've grown up the last 7.5 years with their family beside them, with their aunties and grandparents and cousins, and not just that, with so many friends, or some of my lifelong friends. And the last year, my best friend from high school, she and her family were living right there too. So we put all that together. This was a big pushing limits to move to Boise this summer. However, school has started. We're on day 3 today, and you know what? They love it. And we've all noticed some amazing things. Even this afternoon, I went for a hike with Finley, and I put her in the ergo. You know, like as I said, Jack's traveling, had Kenzie coming home from volleyball, Emerson was off at soccer. I put Finley in the ergo, got another few mile hike in just by walking to the park and up over those hills. And all of that is just about 10 minutes from our house. And we are 2 miles from the state capitol right downtown. And we're right by this cute little fun neighborhood called North End. So that's something that I wouldn't have experienced if we didn't push our limits. I wouldn't have experienced if I was so resistant to Jack suggesting moving to Boise and us staying in Alameda until we found the right spot. His timing is never right. So now let's apply this when it comes to you being an entrepreneur, when it comes to being in fitness, and when it comes to, I put in there parenthood, because of course for myself, being a mother is a big, huge part of my entire business and many clients that I work with, right? So for those of you that are on right now, share with me, what is something that you've been scared to push limits for, or where have you pushed limits unexpectedly, or by encouragement by the one that you're in love with? How have you pushed your limits and seen some growth and success along that journey? And we've all seen growth in so many different ways. And that's the joys of pushing limits. So share with me anything like that. Keep asking questions along this way, you guys. I am answering all these questions that you keep sending in. That is the whole part of this entire process, and why I'm doing these 30 videos, because so many people have asked questions that I know are applicable to quite a few clients across the board. And not just clients, but friends and family and everybody. Okay, so pushing limits, being an entrepreneur. Here we go. Push limits as an entrepreneur all the time. That's part of the job description, honestly, being an entrepreneur, is that you're pushing limits. But 2 years back, I said yes to creating Inspirator Treats. I was so scared with doing so, because it was saying yes to being in the power seat of something that I wanted to do, but not in a local comfort zone where I had control of everything. But taking people to a beautiful location and creating this fitness and empowerment retreat that is going to have, honestly, me step up in a way that I hadn't done before. And not just for one day. I've done it for one day, but it was for 4 days and 3 nights. And it was scary, right? I mean, you're saying yes to this big, huge dream and putting it out there to the world, and the joys of social media. You put it out there to the world times 10. Doing Inspirator Treats, pushing the limits for that part of my business, has honestly, it has created so many huge opportunities and growth in saying yes in a way that I never thought was possible. The years prior to that, we were dealing with medical. Every aspect of my business was honestly tied into paying off medical debt. We still will forever. We've got kids, all this, right? You've pushed your limits by changing eating habits. It was a huge push and very hard. And seriously, that is so big, because when you push limits with food, that's nurture, man. That's comfort. That is how you've been taught from the beginning to celebrate, to ease pain, to, calm down fears. Anything is through food. And you've retrained so many years of work so many years of being taught to then now eat healthy. And it's so hard, but pushing those limits, you realize how much you feel better afterwards. And you don't want to give up that feeling for anything, because you realize that you're invincible at that point. So for myself with Inspirator Retreats, I said yes. There was always going to be medical debt with my business. It was always going to pay off medical debt. It was always going to pay off certain things. But by doing that and incorporating the travel part that I was so desiring, blended with doing this for women to get them outside their comfort zones and providing this oasis of fitness and empowerment. And hey, Sandy, how are you? You'll appreciate this. But providing this oasis of fitness and empowerment and love and support, challenging them to own up, it made me get beyond my comfort zone, and it pushed my own limits for what is possible. So that first one was 2 years ago. In that time period of what's possible, we said yes to traveling in ways that we hadn't done before that. Because it's always tied to, we'll do it later, we'll do it when this is taken care of, we'll do it. It's never the right time. If you don't push your limits now, when will you push your limits? When you're in the grave? That's crazy, you guys, crazy. Push your limits now, because it makes you get so comfortable and uncomfortable, it makes you grow, it makes you see the most beautiful of experiences. It makes you enjoy life. Yes, uncomfortable for a bit, but then with the most amazing, brilliant memories that are being created. So for myself, when it came to as an entrepreneur, with creating Inspirator Retreats and with saying yes to that and with pushing the limits with that, huge key contacts were created, was flown all over the place for work, as I had said yes to myself, so I started saying yes to quite a few other things. My family travel-wise, we said yes in these amazing trips. Last summer, not this past summer, the summer before, a 3-week trip on the East Coast. 3 weeks, you guys. That was something that was unprecedented before, because we could only do a week to Georgia every other summer, a week to Kauai with my family. But for us, for our family trips, it was always visiting family or a couple days here and there. That saying yes to Inspirator Retreats inspired us on the work front, on the life front, on everything, to really push our limits, honestly, and say to our own families, we love you, but this is what we're doing. And that was key. That all stemmed, honestly, from creating Inspirator Retreats for my business. Isn't that crazy? But that's how it works. That is totally how it works. That pushing limits is a ripple effect to every part of your life. So that is one. Now, 2, fitness. How do you push your limits with fitness? Hey, Luke, how are you doing? You're in Texas, I believe. So my friend, good luck to you with these storms. We actually had a crazy storm tonight, but I was just hearing about the storms in Texas on NPR, and I am, oh, thank you, Andrea. I am so grateful that I created Inspirator Retreats too, because your life has changed since last year in Center River. Changed the way that I cannot even fathom, and that is why I created the retreats in the beginning. Luke, good luck to you in Texas. Take care of yourself. Please don't be crazy. I don't know where the storms are going. I'm sorry. We don't have TV here. I just listen to NPR on the radio and picking up Emerson at soccer and was hearing how nutty it's going to be. So crossing fingers that you're okay, because I believe you're still in Texas. So let me step into fitness, guys. How does pushing limits with your own fitness make you grow? You step up, you realize that you can, you power up, and you keep growing stronger, okay? So honestly, this translates to all parts of your life. When you push your limits in fitness, and you push them in a way that you might be quiet in class, you might just be doing your process, you might just be, lacing up, showing up, doing the best you possibly can, but you don't say anything. But you know that you've pushed your limits. You know that you've gone beyond that comfort zone. And you know that you can do so again and again and again. When you push your limits in fitness, that translates to pushing your limits to finding that true love. It translates to pushing your limits when it comes to being your perfect job and say asking for a raise, asking for a promotion, creating your own business. When you push your limits in fitness, it has you physically understand that you're capable of so much more than you ever thought possible. So here's a fun example, guys. We're here in Portland. Oh my gosh, hi, mind slip. We used to live there a while ago. We're here in Boise, and Jack's gone. Today's day 2 of all 3 kids being in school. And I decided, you know what? Orange Theory is super fun. I love going to Orange Theory, guys. If you haven't done their workouts, they're awesome. They're great. Tons of HIIT training. Why I love it. Blend it with working with your heart rate. So this is an Orange Theory class, and I'm there, and it was a 1 by 1. You run 0.25 miles, and then you row a 400, right? So I'm thinking, you know what? Let me go. Let me make sure I'm okay, though, because I've had no sleep, honestly, no sleep since Brooklyn. But truly, I've had like no sleep since Hawaii. Since we've been here, it's been nuts. Our own bed couldn't fit downstairs to the 4th floor here. This house has been a nightmare. It's beautiful, wonderful, yes. It's been a nightmare. They didn't take care of anything before we moved in, so we've been dealing with all of that, which means that Jack's been working since we moved here. I've been dealing with a lot of it. He's emailing. I'm the person having to do a lot of it. He's doing it on the weekends. It's just been nuts. And so I've been sleeping in Finley's bed with Finley. We finally got a mattress downstairs where we made a modified twin bed. And Jack was sleeping downstairs. I'm up here with Finley to keep the girls happy. They're nervous in a new house. All this fun jazz, right? But we're going on 3 weeks. Wednesday was 3 weeks since we moved. So 3 solid weeks of honestly probably 5.5, 6 hours of sleep a night. Not the norm, not what I ever wish for anybody, but having kids with medical stuff before, you know how to deal with it. So let's go to Orange Theory. So today at Orange Theory, I'm thinking, 1 by 1. You know what? I'm an athlete, a trainer. I'll have a fun time with this. I'll push myself. But I need to be real. I've had no sleep. I don't want to be beyond fatigued tonight for the kids, anything like that, or push it to where my competitive self freaks in and I feel like I'm gonna vomit or something like that. Nah, it's Orange Theory, I'm fine. But I pushed and I had a fun time, and my time was fine. I was female-wise, I was the second female, which is totally fine, but I realized pacing-wise, that was what it was. It was my own pacing. You look at the clock and you're pacing yourself against what you normally would. And I realized afterwards, I could have pushed myself a lot further. I'm a trainer, you guys. This is my livelihood. This is every ounce of my being. I've been a trainer since I was 21 years old. My degree is Kinesiology. I have been in and out and encouraging people to push themselves the entire time. And here I was today going, oh no, you know what? Be good to yourself the first 2 quarter miles, first 2 rounds of the 400-meter rows. Like, make sure you've got enough energy to do it for a round. You gotta make sure you've got the energy there, Erin, because you don't want to plug out. Oh my God, at the end, I could have pushed myself so much further. I had more energy in me. I just was questioning my own abilities because of having been tired. And that's silly, because I could have pushed myself. And afterwards I was going, you should have pushed yourself further. You could have done that. But you know what? You did what you thought you could. Great. Had a fun workout. Awesome. You know that next time, you can push your pace up. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Right? So even the best of trainers have to say, believe in yourself quite a few times. So after I came home and I'm thinking about that, I'm working, of course, with the washer repairman, because it's one repairman after another in our house these days. I wrote down my time, and I also wrote a note to myself on the day that it was and journaled it, as I talked about journaling last night with fitness goals, you guys. If you haven't watched that, please watch that. Tons of great information in there. If you're not on my email list, I'm actually going to write an email about that for tomorrow's newsletter. So please put your email in below or direct message it to me to be on the email list. But I put that for a goal to beat that time I had today by at least a minute for the next one, because I know that I can. I know I'm capable of doing it. I didn't push my limits the way that I normally do, and I should have, because after I was like, you could have pushed your limits. So when it comes to you guys, when it comes to your own fitness, know what you can do and push a little bit harder quite a few times. When you do that, what that does is it makes you realize and believe in yourself and realize that you can do things that you never thought possible. When you push your limits physically and you don't give up and you don't half-ass it and you don't just go, you know what, I'll do this percentage today. Those little windows, they are what translate and transfer to so many parts of your life because you did the impossible. You made yourself do something physically that you never thought that you could do mentally or emotionally. And that is where the magic happens. That is where just the huge ahas, amazing, everything happens, right? So, hi Ange, how are you? Talking about pushing limits. My friend, you rewind this and you watch this afterwards because you are going to just love all this, knowing you. So here we go, guys. Why pushing limits is so important when it comes to, why is it integral when it comes to motherhood? 3 kids, guys. I gotta say, with having the spectrum, 13, 9, and 3, my limits are pushed, I'd say every day, about 1,000 times a day. But with those limits being pushed, it also makes me push my heart to understand who they are and their own different personalities, the most unique ways of dealing with them, and allows me to grow as a person immeasurably. With pushing limits, here's what I wrote down for this one. It makes you do what is best and not always easy. Creates boundaries and builds security and trust. So with motherhood, how true is that, right? When your limits are pushed and you put those boundaries, you're building that security and trust with your kids, be it babies to big kids. Hey, my love. Yeah, keep pushing on, keep pushing on. Seriously, my friend, power up right there. So with the kiddos, how is it so key, right? And why is it so important? When you're pushing your limits, and you're pushing your limits in parenthood, and you're pushing your limits with what you're capable of doing, it's going to have you grow, and therefore your kids are going to grow, but they're going to feel safe and secure. When your limits are pushed, but you're putting the boundaries around them, and you are creating that safe space, they are always going to come back. It might not be on your timeline because you can't control everything, but in the timeline that is created by whatever higher powers you have that you believe in, and it makes you grow with your heart, grow with your mind, grow with your entire spirit. And that's also where the training comes into play. You need to train quite a bit when you're a parent because you need to get some of the nerves out and aggression out. The stuff that you can't control, right? Take it out in the gym, man. Take it out in my boot camps. Take it out at the Inspirator retreat, man. Bring it on. But in all seriousness, right now we've got it with Finn. She is this fearless Finny, you guys. God bless her, 3rd kid, trying to keep up with a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old, and she's 3. At the park today, there was a little boy there who is named Kevin and is 5 years old. He does something, Finny goes, I can do that. He goes, no, but you can't, you're 3. She goes, oh no, I can. Like, Finny, it's okay, honey, you can. No, Mom, I can do it. All by myself. No, Finn, let me make sure that, Mama, I got it all by myself. Okay, let me step back. And I watched her. After we went hiking, we went for another fun hike this afternoon, and we come back down our deal with mom and daughter. We go for a hike for a few miles, then we go play at the park for half an hour. That's how it works out. Gets a great workout in at nighttime for us, and I'm doing this as much as I possibly can before the snow covers the mountain. Or the hills, I should say. So anyhow, to get on with it, here I am watching her, and she could do everything by herself. And it was pushing my own heart because the fact that how's my baby so big so fast? Her sisters weren't quite physically, and they both were physical little monkeys, but Finny takes a cake. Finny's got the skill set when it comes to her physical abilities that is something that we are honestly kind of gradually, Jack and I am saying, we're got to prepare ourselves for it because she can do flips already in the bars. She's never taken gymnastics. She runs like the best of them. She, is keeping up with kids a couple years older than her. Yes, she's a 3rd kid, but some of the physical part to it is stuff that we didn't see Emerson do or Mackenzie. And prior to Mackenzie's medical stuff, when she was in 1st grade, she was, no fear. Emerson, uber no fear. Finley, beyond the spectrum, man. We're talking like push the limits. So anyhow, it made me just honestly watch and soak in how amazing and brilliant she is and thinking, God, you are our fearless Finny. How awesome you are to push your own limits and believe every single second that you can do it versus being fearful. She does burpees, for goodness sake. Seriously, Andrea, she does. And she does them all the time, and she does it pretty good. Like, she cracks me up. I'm filming some more fitness videos for the Inspirator Academy, and she's in them. Our children are our greatest teacher. Exactly, Angela. They are our greatest teachers. And I look at that, and Finley's just an example on the toddlerhood side. And I look at that, though, even from Mackenzie and Emerson, and with this move to where when it came to pushing limits, our kids have had their limits pushed. And it wasn't by their decision or by their wish. It was honestly against their free will, right? Because we moved them, just this adventure, to go to this brand new city. It's a huge adventure. We don't know anybody up here. And to take this leap of faith to create a better, more stress-free ease of life for them, right? And Alameda's a great place, but up here to where less traffic, less stress, slower pace, 4 seasons, da-da-da. And it has been that. It's been lovely. Minus missing our family and friends in the Bay, but it's been a lovely experience so far. And anyhow, and I look at that, how their own limits have been pushed, but how we've been learning from them and watching with them, how they've adapted so beautifully. So therefore, even with these house challenges, there's no question. We have to adapt as well. So on that fun note, you guys, let me quickly recap. One, as an entrepreneur, right? Say yes to pushing your limits, because even when you're tired, you're wiped out, pushing your limits is gonna make you grow beyond measure. It's gonna make your business grow, gonna make you think about what you can do versus what you can't do, right? 2, fitness. You step up, you realize what you're possibly capable of doing. What you are capable of doing. It is huge. It makes you grow in so many ways. 3, motherhood. Man, it makes you do what's best and which is not always comfortable, but when you push your limits, it creates those boundaries, it creates that loving, huge mother embrace that every kid feels safe and adored by. So on that fun note, you guys, I am gonna go, honestly, to bed myself in just a minute here, since my better half isn't here. And I wish you guys a beautiful night. I do also invite you guys, please join in on the 5-day Fear into Fitness Challenge. This is next week. It starts on Monday, the 28th of August, and it goes through Friday, September 1st. That's it. It is 5 days of fearlessness. It is 5 days of fitness, of empowerment, of goal setting, of mindfulness, of so many. It's free. It is worth $4.99. I mean, this week of, honestly, when I do a week event like this, what I'm packing into this, it's about a $4.99, more than $4.99 when it comes to price point value. If you're gonna put a price point on it, but for you, it's free. And the reason why is I want you to take this week, give permission to yourself to do this, then you jump into September feeling fully and capable of what you are going to do for the fall quarter of this year, for this last quarter of the year, because you've got that. You've got, the last third of the year and the last quarter of the year, September, October, November, December, whatever it is that you choose to do. You've got this nugget that's gonna power you through and power you up for that. So again, it's a Fear into Fitness Challenge. It's 5 days. I invite you to do that. I will be doing these videos this entire 30-day window. Please message me any questions you have, put them down below. I would love to answer all of them. That's what I've been doing with all these different questions. And please share this with a friend, because if you've gotten something from it, you know that one of your friends will get something from it too. So enjoy it. Remember, you are your own inspirator, and I wish you a beautiful night. Bye.